Well, good morning, everybody. I'm actually taping this at night as, as I'm losing this daylight. Look, November. Can you believe this? I'm sitting outside. It's the light is fading on November the 10th. This is when I'm recording this, November the 10th. I don't usually say when I'm recording these things, but it's a beautiful day and it's weird. Um, Matthew 27, Mark 15. This is what we're reading today. I think just double check the heading, and it's an ugly thing to read. It's really it's ugly and yet it's beautiful. There's such beauty in this act of suffering. There's beauty in this thing that Jesus has done for us, and we're wrong not to stop and take note of this because this is just an incredible thing. Our problem is that um, we find it very hard to find beauty in suffering for righteousness. Oh, and I mean, none of us like suffering. Nobody, unless there's something wrong with you. Nobody likes it. You know that Jesus struggled over this, going forward with this, and it was a beautiful act of submission to his Father, an act of love that saw him go forward with this. So it's not like, um, it's not when it says for the joy that was set before him. Um, it's not referring to the joy of the cross. It's referring to the outcome, what this was going to bring about for those who he loved. It just there's such beauty in this, and when we look at this and we can see what our Father brought out of this kind of suffering, what he was able to accomplish through this kind of suffering. We're told, in Matthew 5, uh, it's made very clear, and what some people have called the Beatitudes. For me, it's the principles of the Constitution that follows it. Um, it deals with suffering. You're gonna suffer for righteousness, and you're gonna suffer because you love Jesus. In this world, that's just a given. It's what's going to happen. And we shy away from it sometimes, and we don't see the beauty in it. And yet, if this is Dad's plan, if he works these incredible things of beauty out of this suffering, if we see what he accomplished through the Son, through this suffering, can't we trust him that if we're privileged to suffer in this way, which we will be at one point or another, that he's gonna accomplish beautiful things out of that? Can we get there? Because we're not great sufferers. it's, we're great complainers. We are really great complainers, and most of us want to avoid the pain. We do. We want to avoid the pain, and we want to uh, get to the other side of it. And thankfully for Jesus, it was not. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't months worth. And some people, um, because of because standing up for what's right, they end up suffering for years and years and years. There's people in detention centers all around the world simply because they love Jesus, simply because they were living a righteous life. Um, it shouldn't happen in our country where there's freedom, but that freedom is narrowing, and we shouldn't be surprised by it. But can we trust Dad? Can we trust Dad with suffering? Can we trust that he uses everything for our benefit? And it says in those same Beatitudes that he will multiply the acts of righteousness. He will multiply it so that we are surrounded by the fruit of righteousness, even in suffering. Can you get there? I hope so. Love you guys. Be blessed. And I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this evening.